What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to week 7 of the Axial Honcho budget build. This week I'm going to cover 2 new upgrades that we're going to tackle on our Honcho. The first one is going to be a durability upgrade on the shock towers of this car. And the second one is going to be something that I haven't really done before. It's going to be a functional but different upgrade to the interior that I'm going to tackle for very little money. Let's jump into the shock towers first. Now, the installation of the shock towers is extremely simple. It's basically just removing the stock screws, taking the plastic part off, and putting the aluminum part on with the factory hardware again. It's extremely simple, and it really doesn't take any explaining. But what I do want to explain is why doing an upgrade on your shock towers is a good idea. If you're unfamiliar, the SCXTen-2 runs a 3-link with Panhard suspension in the front and a 4-link suspension in the rear. The reason that you want to run a 3-link with Panhard suspension in the front of this car is because of the chassis mounted servo. The Axial SCX10-2 integrates the Panhard Link mount onto the driver's side front shock tower. The Panhard Link that you have to run when running a chassis mounted servo locates the axle side to side. In a triangulated 4-link, the triangulation of the upper and lower links is what centers the axle side to side and holds it in place. In a 3-link with Panhard, those 3 links that are run with the length of the chassis do not locate the axle. They just keep the axle placed where it needs to be, and then it keeps the pinion angle in check. That Panhard link is what locates that front axle side to side. That means that any force that comes in and impacts one of these front tires is translated through that Panhard link to the chassis. And that entire force is translated through that front shock tower Panhard mount. It also has some very tight clearances where the servo horn comes in there, so you're not looking at the strongest piece, and that piece is one that is very prone to failure, especially during big tumbles. As we upgrade this car further and further and add a little bit more mass to certain areas of this car, we are more and more likely to break that front Panhard mount. So replacing those shock towers this week is a preventative measure to make sure that a busted Panhard mount does not end our day on the trails. Now let's jump into the item that's more for fun but still functional on this interior. Before we started the video, I actually pulled the bomber interior out of this car to do this explanation. And I can't believe how much better this car looks with this interior installed than it does without. Looking at it without one in there, it looks so naked. It definitely needs this interior. What we're going to install this week is this little voltmeter that I came up with. Now, I bought these little 12-volt digital voltmeters a while ago and had it around, and it's something that I wanted to use. So I came up with a simple little mount, 3D printed again, to mount it into the interior. Now, I know I'm using 3D printing a lot, but you don't have to use 3D printing. Like Matt's shown, you can build almost anything out of styrene. So if you have something that you want to put into your car, you can do it without the fancy tools or 3D printers or anything like that. You can just layer some styrene together and start sanding away. I designed this mount and 3D printed it, and in all honesty, it didn't fit the first time. But I'm late recording this video, so I busted out the files and got to filing this thing down to where it's going to fit. Now, I designed this to replace the navigation screen that's in front of the passenger on this stock bomber interior. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to trim out this navigation screen area on the stock bomber interior and get this piece fitted into place. Now again, if you do have a 3D printer, I'll host this file once I get it updated and fixed onto Thingiverse if you'd like to print it yourself. Or again, I'll give away 3 of these little 3D printed parts to some of you commenters below. Now the installation of the piece into the interior is pretty straightforward. Just kind of cut enough away so it sit flush and shoe glued it into place. But now we have to wire it. This thing doesn't take any power really. It needs a very minimal amount. Something that I really like to do is find an old network cable like this, cut the ends off of it, and then cut a length that I need. The one that I stripped down had 4 twisted pairs of cable like this, which is a really fine, twistable, multi-strand copper wire. I find this stuff very handy to have around for wiring of little accessories or lighting like this. I'm wiring the red and white conductors from the digital voltmeter together and then leaving the black separate. To feed power to this voltmeter, I'm going to wire it back to the LEDs that we installed a couple of weeks ago for those rear taillights. I'm not going to have to worry about putting a connector in line at this point because right now we've got that nice flip your lid kit on this car, and I really haven't had to take the body off in quite a while. Wires are shoe glued into place just to make sure that they don't go anywhere. And now we've got the rear zip tied just in case anything ever pulls on it. It doesn't pull our wires all the way out to that voltmeter. Now I'm going to reinstall the interior back into the body and finish up the wiring of this pigtail. So that's going to tackle the upgrades for this week. Little touches like a digital voltmeter on the dash are what make these builds fun. But making sure that the build is going to last all day while you're on the trail is why we do the upgrades like the shock towers as well. I love functional details that make the truck look cool and different, but I also just want to make sure that when I go out to play with my truck, it is going to last. We're still playing with fire with a stock servo up front and things like that, but that's part of the fun of these budget builds, is trying to put this puzzle together in a way that we can always have fun, but on that schedule. As I mentioned last week, I've picked 3 winners for the side bracket 3D printed mounts, and I'll put those names in the description below. And also, I'll give away 3 of those printed bezels for the digital voltmeter for next week as well. Just comment below and I'll pick 3 of the winners from the comments and post them in next week's video. We're 7 weeks in, we're starting to get into some serious upgrades. We're having a lot of fun. I'm still rocking a pretty stock look though. I definitely need to get on changing that. Make sure to go check out Matt's build for week 7 as well. I'll put the links to that in the description below, as well as a link to the playlist of all 14 of our weekly videos in chronological order. I can't thank you guys enough for all of the support with likes, comments, and subscribes. I've never had a build series more successful than the one that I'm doing right now with Matt. So, as always guys, thank you very much. Like the video if you enjoyed it, subscribe if you haven't, and we'll see you next Wednesday for another Honcho budget build.